Hello, 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 and welcome to Walk, Talk, Health. Aging and disease, and most health professionals now believe that aging is just a disease, is caused by two main factors. That's DNA damage and chronic inflammation. Today, you and I are going to take a walk in an amazing trail, and we're going to discuss something that will help with one or both of those. But it's if you combine the topics we discuss over a series of these walk and talks, it really can have an amazing effect on your well-being, your health, your longevity, and you really can live longer, healthier. So where are we today? We're at Riverfront Regional State Park near Healdsburg, California. This is the second in the Food is Medicine series. And if you would like to have less achy joints, better skin health, better hair health, better heart health, better sleep, better digestion, better blood pressure, and so many more things, then this is the walk and talk for you. Today we're going to discover and talk about bone broth. Now, before you switch off, I was a bit skeptical, but I started taking this 6 months ago because I had all kinds of digestional issues, having been on proton pump inhibitors, PPIs, for 18 months as part of trying to reduce acid reflux. It made a complete mess of my digestive system. I had pain, discomfort, bloating. I felt physically sick. And I am certain that it was the bone broth I took every day that actually fixed it. So I'm living proof, I believe, that bone broth is definitely something that is not only really tasty, and later in this video I'll tell you what I do to prepare my bone broth to make it tasty, the ingredients I add to it, but it's also incredibly healthy. We're going to discuss what it does to the body, all those 12 amazing benefits. We'll cover each 12 in detail. We'll explain how it does it, and then we'll do what we need to do in terms of how much bone broth to take and when to take it. Then we'll do a recap like we always do at the end, and I hope you enjoy both the trail and the information that we're about to cover, because I think it's mind-blowing. Our ancestors, when we were hunter-gatherers, used to eat the entire animal when they managed to catch one, from nose through to tail, literally, because they understood that the different benefits, compounds, nutrients that we need for our overall health and longevity was contained in different parts of the animal. Bone broth contains both high levels of collagen and glutamine. This helps with the first one I mentioned earlier, gut health. Basically, our gut has a lining of just one cell thick, and they're a special type of cell that connect together incredibly tightly to make sure nothing passes into the bloodstream that shouldn't be there. It's designed to keep out toxins and pathogens, bacteria, anything that might cause us harm to our health system and our immune system, which is why 70% of the immune system actually lives in and around the gut, and it's why we have fat stores around our gut to actually help feed those immune cells. So keeping that gut lining and the intestinal lining healthy is incredibly important for our overall well-being and longevity if we want to live longer, healthier. So the trail starts and comes around a lake, and what we're going to be doing today is walking basically around the lake. Sometimes further on, as we'll discover, after it's been raining, it's actually impossible to get round to the other side of the lake. So we may just be walking in one direction and then turning around and coming back. We'll see how we get on. Bone broth is incredibly rich in collagen, but not just any form of collagen. It's actually more bioavailable. It's broken down into an amino acid that's easier for the body to absorb. Now, that's really important because where it comes to joint health, which is our number 2 benefit for bone broth, that is the building block for basically cartilage, ligaments, tendons, all the connective tissues in our joints. Bone broth also contains both glucosamine and chondroitin. You can actually get that as a supplement, and for a while my wife and I were taking that, but it's actually got a high enough levels, and this is important because those two compounds actually help with the lubrication of the joints. So not only is bone broth helping to build all that connective tissue, but it's also helping to lubricate it, helping to reduce stiffness, pains, and the sort of things that we really want to avoid. So when we've stripped all the meat, etc., off of an animal, and we're left with the carcass, the bones, etc., that our ancestors would also eat, because contained in that carcass is unbelievable beneficial nutrients. By boiling those bones for a long period of time, it releases things like the calcium from the bones, all the connective tissue dissolves, and the bone marrow also comes out and creates this amazing bone broth. That now leads us on to number 3, which is bone strength. All those things that dissolve and make up bone broth are essential for bone health. Bone broth contains calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and the collagen we've mentioned, all needed to build and maintain strong bones. More views of the lake. It's a little cloudy today, which is a shame. It's even more beautiful when the skies are blue and the sun is shining. But hey, it's still an amazing trail. Number 4 of the 12 amazing benefits is better skin, smoother looking, younger looking skin. Bone broth, as I've already mentioned, is high in bioavailable collagen. Collagen is, believe it or not, like the scaffold for our skin, helping it keep its shape. It also contains hyaluronic acid. It's a compound that actually keeps the skin hydrated and plump, leading to that more younger, more youthful, glowing skin. And finally, in terms of great looking skin, it contains both glycine and proline. Now, both these compounds are needed to make elastin. Elastin is basically what makes the skin flexible, firm, and more resistant to wrinkles. 5 of the 12 is always a big one for me. It actually helps boost the immune system. Bone broth basically feeds the friendly bacteria in our gut. Those gut in return produce all the nutrients that we need, and the short chain fatty acids that the body needs for our immune system. These bacteria actually live in the mucus layer of our digestive system, which is also part of supporting and protecting that all-important 1 cell thick lining for the wall lining of the intestines and the digestional tract. So feeding those bacteria and the bacteria releasing all those amazing compounds is very, very important for our overall health and immune system. As a result, number 6 is that bone broth actually helps us fight colds. So if you're feeling under the weather, a nice cup of bone broth for a few days can really help. It contains proline, cysteine and glycine, and this helps basically to thin out the mucus that we get quite often, you know, like chest colds and coughs. When the mucus goes to your chest, it helps to thin that out, and it reduces inflammation that may be down in our throat area as a result of the virus or the bacteria that's attacking us, which again is part of helping the immune system to fight off that infection and for us to recover. Number 7 on the list of 12 amazing health benefits of bone broth is just general body repair. Bone broth actually contains 19 essential amino acids that the body uses for just general repair. Wherever it's needed, those amino acids are part of the building blocks for that repair process. So that's pretty incredible in its own right. We'll just stop for a minute and have a look at a bit more of the lake. Sun's come out, which is great. So it's a very pretty lake. The The walk's pretty flat. I think the total loop, if you can manage to do it, as in it's not flooded at the end, is only about 2.5 miles. So it's a pretty easy walk. So number 8 is detoxification support. Our everyday environment, the foods we eat, we're exposed to toxins. So heavy metals, pathogens, all of those things. And believe it or not, bone broth actually helps us get all those toxins out of our body. The way it does this is via the liver mainly. The liver works very hard to remove these toxins, and bone broth provides some of the ingredients the liver needs to do this. For example, glycine is needed to turn into glutathione. Glutathione is the most powerful anti-inflammatory chemical that our bodies produce. And by reducing inflammation in the liver, it allows it to perform better and carry out the function of removing those terrible toxins from our body. Number 9 on the list of 12 is basically support for healthy nails and healthy hair. Now, I think most of us, without wanting to sound too vain, like to have healthy hair and nails. I know the ladies particularly on the nail side of things, and bone broth helps incredibly with that. The glycine and the proline and the arginine that's in bone broth are essential for healthy hair follicles and support stronger and faster growing nails. The arginine in particular helps the blood flow to the hair follicles where the hair starts to grow basically, and to the nail beds. So where our hair begins and our nails begin is where this arginine actually helps the formation of this stronger, healthier hair and nails. Pretty amazing, right? Moving on to number 10, bone broth is amazing at helping our muscle strength and muscle recovery. This is thanks to the rich supply of the amino acids I mentioned earlier and glutamine. For tissues to repair and reduced inflammation, we need both of these. It's particularly good for, we're talking bone broth, for athletes. It helps you recover after a workout in the gym or a run. And if you add baking soda to it, it actually helps reduce something called lactic acid, and that's a byproduct of using the muscles. The lactic acid is released as part of that workout, and that's what causes that pain and stiffness, tightness in the muscles afterwards. So by taking bone broth with the baking soda, you can actually help offset, if not completely remove, this lactic acid. So if those 10 weren't enough, we still have 2 more amazing benefits. Number 11 is heart and circulatory benefits. So the walls of our arteries and capillaries are actually made from collagen, which obviously over time can deteriorate as we age. The rich bioavailable form of collagen I've already mentioned can be found in bone broth, and therefore it helps repair and fortify them. This in turn reduces inflammation, and inflammation is one of the biggest causes of blood pressure issues. So it helps with blood pressure. So having that lower blood pressure and therefore better blood flow means that nutrients and oxygen that we need for every process in the body, including growth and repair, can reach every cell in the body. So bone broth has an amazing effect in terms of helping with that. Fantastic. Finally, last but not least, number 12, bone broth can actually help with better quality sleep and helping us get off to sleep. The glycine in bone broth has been proven to relax and calm the mind, which actually helps get a better quality of sleep. And this relaxation, if you take bone broth maybe an hour before bed, I tend to take mine in the afternoon, I'll talk more about that later, it can actually potentially help you get off to sleep faster as well. Yep. It's a pretty lake. definitely flooded. We've had a lot of rain here in Northern California over the last few days. In fact, you can see that down there it's flooded, so I can't go that way. I'm going to go up to the higher path and see whether there's any access around the lake from there, but I don't hold out much hope. Okay, it's that time to ask for your help again, please. This channel is in no way monetized. Its sole purpose is to reach as many people as I can, people just like you, and help them on their health journey. If you've got any benefit from this walk and talk or previous walk and talks, can I ask you to hit the like, subscribe and bell notification if you want automatic notifications of my future videos, because this is important for the algorithm. It helps it push it further and wider depending on how much interaction it gets on those three things. Better still, can you actually leave a comment, maybe ask a question around the topic we've discussed, maybe simply tell me where in the world you're watching from. I always get a kick out of knowing that. And then finally, sharing this video to people that you think may benefit helps me reach to those people that will hopefully get something from the walk and talks. And the whole point of this is to help them live longer, healthier. So I thank you in advance for your help. Thank you. Okay, the sign, as you can see, says trail closed. Let's talk bone broth then, in how to take it and when to take it. I take mine in the middle of the afternoon. Helps me keep going because I do intermittent fasting. That just simply means that after my evening meal, around about 6 o'clock, I eat nothing until about midday the next day. That's when I have my bone broth, because that actually gives all those amazing nutrients to my healthy, helpful gut bacteria, and keeps me going until I have my next meal around about 5 or 6 o'clock that day. But I prepare it in a way that I think is delicious. It turns out to be kind of a chicken and onion soup taste. What I do is, in the bottom of a cup, I put, and this is optional, a teaspoonful of chia seeds. Now, chia seeds may be the next walk and talk. These are incredibly healthy and beneficial. When you soak them in water, they give out basically things like omega-3s and other stuff that I don't want to spoil, save it for the next video. But that basically helps in terms of cleansing the internal system. I then add in the bone broth, and I then put in some ground ginger, which gives it a slight spice and flavour to it. And then finally, I add a half teaspoon of Bisto onion gravy granules, which is delicious. And then together, once that's heated up and combined, I think it's fantastic. I actually look forward to taking my bone broth on a daily basis. So not only am I getting some incredible health benefits, but I actually enjoy it. Maybe try it for yourself. Don't have to do the chia seeds, but there are incredible health benefits if you do add those as well. Or flax seeds does the same thing. Either way, leave it up to you, but I think you'll find it's delicious. Time for the recap. So what have we learnt in this walk and talk? There are 12 amazing benefits of bone broth. Something as simple as taking a cup of bone broth a day can have amazing health benefits. I think it's important to point out that if you're looking for bone broth, I buy mine from Costco. Look for something that's organic, that's been derived from pasture-raised animals. That way you're not going to get extra contaminants in there or anything that you don't really want to be consuming. So the 12 major benefits, we have things like gut health, in terms of helping to maintain the wall lining of the gut and feed those friendly bacteria, and also help the mucus layer of the gut, which is equally important in terms of protecting the digestional tract lining, stopping those parasites and toxins from getting across into the blood, which can cause us all kinds of problems. Collagen is amazing at helping joint support. It is the building blocks for all that connective tissue, and just as equally it helps to lubricate those joints. Bone broth also contains all the necessary compounds for bone strength, which, as I think you'll agree, is very important, especially as we get older. And it also helps with skin. It helps with not just the structure of our skin, but also the compounds that the skin needs to be moist, hydrated and plump, younger looking. You know that bone broth actually helps support the immune system. Again, all the amazing compounds in bone broth help to do things like reduce inflammation and feed the good bacteria, which in return release compounds that our immune system needs to fight back against illnesses, which is why it's also good to help recovering from a cold and doing things like loosening up the mucus that we can get when we suffer from a cold. Bone broth generally helps our body repair. It has 19 essential amino acids that the body needs for that growth and repair process. Bone broth can help both our hair grow thicker and stronger, and also our nails stronger. Bone broth work at both the hair follicle and the nail cuticle areas to help produce stronger hair and nails. Bone broth helps both muscle strength in terms of repair and recovery. It also helps our heart and circulatory system by reducing inflammation and helping to improve blood pressure. And finally, it helps us get maybe off to sleep quicker, but certainly a better night's sleep by calming the nervous system. Join me next time where we do part 3, and I think you'll be amazed at how this next food has some significant health benefits in terms of us living longer, healthier. I hope you've enjoyed this week's walk and talk. I certainly have. A bit cloudy to start, but the sun's now out, the wind's dropped, it's beautiful here. I hope you got something from this walk and talk on food is medicine. This is number 2 in the series. The first one, which I'd encourage you to check out here, covered the food groups of walnuts with tart cherries and high percentage dark chocolate cocoa. Delicious combination if eaten together, which can help with all kinds of things, including a good night's sleep.